Another round of video game industry execs are earning their big lumps of coal this holiday season as layoffs continue, figuring up to over 7,000 positions lost so far in 2023.
And the Game Award nominees were announced earlier this week. We're going to share our picks and our expectations for the show. All this and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can find us on Fruit Lab, YouTube, and podcast services everywhere. My name is Erect the Red, joined every single week by the Bearded One. Full clip. What's up, dude?
What's going on? Doing all right. How are you? If anybody's the bearded one between us,
that's what I was thinking as I said it. I'm looking at you. I'm like, man, that's a nice beard. And then I was like, the bearded one could be either of us. So it's really it's confusing. I didn't mean to confuse everybody right off the start.
A couple of bearded gents, but that's okay. Yeah, doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very much looking forward to the weekend. It's been a long week, but I'm good. I've been playing some fun games. I've been getting stuff done in preparation for the winter months. So, a lot's going on here. So I feel comfortable, feel confident, and I'm excited to chat with you tonight. How you been?
Pretty good. You stocking up on like beer and smoked meats and stuff like that for the winter?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I definitely do need to stock up more on beer. I was thinking about that today. I was like, I'm ready to drink a lot this weekend, and I have not enough beer. So.
Yeah. I've been doing all right, and I broke the curse, I'm happy to say. I got back into a game, played a game called Simple Game, and put out a video on that.
Oh, jeez. I saw that video. This game is so strange.
Yeah. The idea is, like, the name is a joke. It's not a simple game. So far, I've played through, like, three distinct worlds. Yeah, on the surface.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's pretty crazy.
I was watching your video. I was like, I had no idea what was coming next. I'm like yelling at the screen. I'm like, do this. Yeah. But
no, it's like it's a mysterious game. You're not really supposed to know what's going on, but it's puzzles and stuff. And you really, until like you see stuff like, oh, there's a key on this dude's back, and that opens a door, and there's a code inscribed somewhere in the level. It's really a game that's made me have to stop and really think about things for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a thinker, and like it's not like a puzzle where it's you could solve it. It's so random, like you just have to find stuff. It's more like a search for things where you have to find them and figure out what the hell's happening. I'm glad you're back to gaming, even if it is just some weird simple game.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with hard space shipbreaker still. I'm like still taking apart ships. Now they're getting really big. They're getting massive. But that's a lot of fun. And then I started playing a game called Lake that I've had for a while, and I never played it. It's like it's set in the 80s. You play as a male lady, and you just drive around this like nice town. It's kind of like I don't know. It's like a Hallmark movie that you play out. Because I saw there was a DLC coming up for it called like Season's Greetings, and it makes it Christmas time there, and it looks real cozy.
I remember the trailer for this one. It looked interesting.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, all it is you just deliver mail and talk to people, and then like decide what you want to do after work and stuff like that. It's real simple, real slow, just so slow. This is a legitimate simple game. And then I started playing a new game in between those. A game just came out called Lucky Hero. And what this is, it's right up my alley because it's like it's kind of like a deck building roguelite type thing, but it's like with a what do you call those things? when you like gamble, slot machine.
Slot machine.
Oh Jesus, I'm going crazy. Yeah, it's like a slot machine where you spin the wheel and then like the things come up that you could use, so you could attack or
Yeah.
you could block, and it's dependent upon what comes up on the slot machine. So it's really fun. It reminds me a lot of Slay the Spire in terms of its kind of gameplay, but it has this total luck based RNG situation going on.
So I just saw a trailer that was exactly like this. Is in this game on that slot machine, can you combine different things to like form better weapons and craft them into better things?
Yeah, so if there's like a book that you have that has some sort of a power, and if it lands
Yeah.
next to a weapon, then it upgrades that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I haven't done too much. I played it about an hour. It just came out today as of this recording, so I put in about an hour in it, and like I'm really jonesing. I got the feeling to go back and play some more, because it is that thing. You die, you start over again, but then you just get right back at it. Jump on the horse, you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been enjoying my gaming. Like I've been playing Spider-Man 2 also, but everything I'm playing right now, I'm really loving. So,
I don't know where you find the time.
dude, it's been rough. So the Steam Deck has been coming to bed with me lately, and I'll fall asleep playing it. So
Yeah.
like I'm in there just breaking ships down, and I'm just like, ugh. The problem is though, I fell asleep the other night, and so with this game you have like this grappling hook type thing. If you pull it one direction, so you're just floating in space. But I must have been pulling something, and it was still attached to the main ship that I was in. So all of a sudden I'm sleeping, and I like wake up, and the whole ship that I'm in, that I'm working on, slowly, meticulously taking apart these pieces, the whole ship went into the disposal area. And all of a sudden it's giving me all these like, all the money that I earned, but also at the same time, all the stuff that wasn't supposed to go in there, I had like negative scores. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh no, okay, I cannot play this game when I'm like half asleep, because yeah, I'm just floating out there and I run out of oxygen. It's been, I'm a little addicted to that game.
Yeah, I've been looking more into it because you told me at the very beginning that it was right up my alley, and the more you tell me about it, the more it seems that's definitely true. But
Yeah.
I think on Steam it's like $35, so I think you got a hell of a deal with the Humble Bundle.
Yeah, it's in this month's bundle. So, I mean, you could go, pick that up, and it's a bunch of great games in there. You get it for like $12, or if you work a little magic, probably like $8. But yeah, it's definitely, if you're interested, go that route, because you'll get that and a bunch of other fantastic games that came this month. All right, should we move this show on the road?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, let's talk about our new releases from last week. All right, first up, Forza Customs came out November 14th on iPhone and Android. Yeah, it's a mobile Forza game, but it's not that at all, because so you've been playing this, right? I have not played it.
I started this
Tell me
a couple
about it.
days ago. Yeah, you're right. It's got a lot of people pissed off because it is Forza in name only. It is sort of a rebranded Candy Crush, but those games, those simple match 3 games, can never be that simple anymore. You got to have the mansion in the background that it's dilapidated and you're fixing it up. So that's how this works. You don't ever actually get to race the cars. You get to look at them, and that's kind of cool. And I'm not hating on this game, because I think if you want a cool time wasting game where it's a match 3, it's like that. I'd rather be looking at cool custom cars, and you do actually get to do a little customization and make it your own within limits. You might have like 3 options for one thing, 5 options for another thing. You might only be able to paint the car 1 out of 4 different options. But you can make something kind of unique there. And as far as like the time wasting element, it's good. It's as good as Candy Crush or any other game of this genre. It's just this one has cool car stuff in it instead of a old mansion you have to rebuild.
Yeah, it's funny when you go to the page on the App Store. There's maybe 8 screenshots of the game, and the last one is the match 3 aspect
right.
of it.
And that's how the trailer was too.
Yeah, which like I was sold. I was like, I don't care about these cards, and then I saw the match 3, and I'm like, I'm getting this game. I downloaded it. I'm gonna play it
Oh,
later. I'll
nice.
let you know how it goes. But yeah, I love match 3 games. That's my most, that and like Solitaire are my like favorite like time waster games. If I'm like, on the toilet or in the car or something,
Yeah.
I stick with those two.
Yeah, you tell me if this one gets you hooked, because I've been playing it pretty regularly throughout the day.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out in between all the other random things I'm playing. And another one that I plan to be playing very soon, Teardown, came out November 15th on PS5 and Xbox X and S. So, a story about Teardown. This was one of the games when it was first shown. This gave me the most FOMO for PC gaming out of anything. I really
Yeah.
wanted Teardown. It was one of the first games that I wish listed on Steam when I got my Steam Deck, and I still never have, like, I never bought it just because I've been waiting for a sale and that sort of thing. And now it's out on console and it's available day one through the PlayStation Plus extra package. So
Yeah.
I was very excited for this.
Oh, same. Like, I mean, I wish I had PlayStation Plus or Xbox, well, whatever it's out on right now, because it has been on my Steam wish list for like 3 years now.
Nice. Yeah. So what it is, it's like it's a fully destructible and interactive world. It's like a voxel world, and you have to plan these heists, and you can do the heists in any way that you see fit by blowing up walls or like creating paths to get to somewhere. It looks so cool. There's 40 missions in the campaign to do. Once you complete the mission, it opens up that area in like a sandbox mode. So you can just go in there and smash stuff and just play around with that world. And on top of that, then there's these challenges that are constantly changing and having you focus on doing things different ways. So there's a lot in this game, and yeah, I'm really excited. And the physics, the way it works, like the water and everything, it's all really well thought out. So yeah, I'm excited. Finally. I mean, I guess like it feels like it came out like a long time. I think it was in early access for a while
Yeah.
because I looked and it was like the official release was just last year. And I was like, no, I've been looking at this game for a while.
Yeah.
So,
I think on PC they're even getting like a Time Traveler DLC and everything else. I'm not sure if that's going to be available on console right away or in the future.
mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool. All right, another one that looks fun. The Last Faith came out November 15th on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, and Nintendo Switch. Basically, you got Blasphemous, you got Bloodborne, you got Castlevania. Just mix those three together, and you got The Last Faith. It's a Metroidvania slash Souls-like. It's like this beautiful pixel art, very dark and gothic. And you just go through. You got all these super cool weapons, spells. The enemies look amazing, and the bosses, like same like Dark Souls style, really cool, epic bosses. This one looks fantastic. And then lastly, Super Mario RPG came out November 17th for the Nintendo Switch. This is a remake of the Super Nintendo game, Super Mario RPG. Is that one you ever played?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Everybody loved it. This one is getting great reviews. It's a turn-based role-playing game with the Super Mario characters. What's not to love?
Yeah. Sort of that old like Final Fantasy on the Super Nintendo style of turn-based.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and it is Square, I believe, and Nintendo working together. If I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, but yeah, this is definitely one that I would like to pick up at some point for the Nintendo Switch. It's hard with all these Nintendo games that come out because these are the games that I'd wait for a sale, and these games never go on sale.
Right. And they ask a little much for this remake of a Super Nintendo game with slightly better graphics.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I'm sure it's going to do well because it's a beloved game, and it's also the first time you could play it without dusting off your Super Nintendo. So I'm sure you probably got a Super Nintendo that you could play it on, but
well, There are other ways
No?
to play older games like that that
Well,
I'd probably
oh,
resort to before
that's a good
paying
point.
for this one.
That's a good point. My question was, I guess, do you have a Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
I knew you would. You got all those retro consoles.
Yeah, try
All
to
right,
keep one of everything if I can.
Yeah, smart. All right, that's it for our new releases from this past week. Some good games, some games I'm very excited for. But now it's time for our news of the week. All right, the Game Awards nominees were just announced, and we got a lot to talk about. I figure as we're talking about the nominees for all the categories, let's give our thoughts. Let's give our picks for who we think is going to take home the big W. That's win, big win, not wiener. In all the nominations, and I'll keep track of it. Whoever wins has to. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and
dirty,
live vote while we're doing this. Oh.
Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna skip the esports content creator stuff, and we'll work our way up to the big dog.
Gotcha.
First up, most anticipated game: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. What is your most anticipated game?
GTA 6. So,
it's not on here.
Yeah.
I think it missed the cutoff.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's probably still not actually technically.
It's not announced. Really. Yeah. Good call.
Out of those games, like I don't even have a preference.
No,
not really looking forward to any of this.
I know, this is trouble. I mean, this year had so many games that were exciting. Hades 2, I think, will probably get the win, just because it's been in development. It seems like for people have been waiting forever. So that's my pick, but I don't have a horse in this race as well. What are you going to pick for your official vote? What are you going to cast on your ballot?
Star Wars Outlaws looks good. I would play it. But Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is so weird, and I've wanted to play one of those games for a long time. I think I got to go with Star Wars Outlaws. Okay. I loved Solo, and I feel like this is the game that's going to be most like that experience.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I know very little about any of these games. All right, best adaptation. This one I feel like we don't even need to talk about. But the nominees were Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal. The Last of Us is winning it. Like, we all know that the Last of Us is going to win it.
Over my dead body, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
All right. This is the only other one I feel like that has a shot at winning it. But The Last of Us was, it was amazing.
Hey, and I love Twisted Metal. Did you ever go back to that one?
No, I forgot about it. I just thought about it yesterday. I was like, hey, we never finished Twisted Metal.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah. All right, next up. Best multiplayer. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Wonder. It's weird to think of Baldur's Gate 3 as a multiplayer game, but it is. Yeah. I've had some great fun playing it with some friends, but you don't automatically think that. Yeah, this is a tough one too. I think like the one that feels the most like multiplayer is Party Animals.
Yeah.
But I did play some Super Mario Wonder with my nephews, and there were 4 of us playing it, and we had a blast. So I'm going to give it to Super Mario.
The only one on the list I've played is Baldur's Gate 3, and I haven't played the multiplayer. I think just because of that, I've got to go with Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's no Call of Duty on this list this year.
Yeah. Yeah, there a lot of those big ones we're going to see it throughout are missing. They're absent, and I like it. Like this one. Best sports and racing game, or not and racing game, or racing game. EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and the Crew Motorfest. So you've got no no Madden, no NBA, no wrestling. Like, it's great. I love it because those are the ones that I feel like are always on these things.
Yeah, you wouldn't have
What
liked
is
to
it?
see the AEW game on this list, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game, but I would have voted for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
on this one, I've got to go with the only one that I would really pick up out of this list. Maybe Hot Wheels, but the Crew Motorfest.
the Crew, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hot Wheels. That is the most fun that I've had in a racing game in a long time. Um, I haven't played the second one, but from what I've seen, it's just more of the same from the first one, which I did play and had a blast doing. Next up, Best Sim/Strategy Game, Advanced Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, City Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. These aren't my type of games, so I don't know. I'm just gonna spew something that I've heard throughout and say Pikmin 4.
I'm going to go with Company of Heroes 3 because I have the key for that game. I've never played it, but
Oh, jeez.
maybe it'll make my key more valuable.
Or it'll encourage you to go play it.
Right.
Best Family Game, Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Okay, Disney Illusion Island. Do you remember anything about that game? Because I feel like I heard of its announcement and then never saw it.
No.
Didn't even know it existed.
Initially, when I saw this, I thought it was that one, like...
Dreamlight Valley?
Yes, that's what I thought it was. But this one, no, I'm not familiar with it. So I'm going to go back to the fun that I had with my family playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I'll go with you, because you know that's probably the best game on this list.
Yeah. Except if Disney Illusion Island is amazing and we just have some sort of a block. Best Fighting Game, God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. I've never heard of God of Rock until I saw this right here.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of a guy with just really big hair, and I want to go see it now. My pick is Street Fighter 6.
I'd have to go with you. I've not played any of these, but I did see your play of the beginning of Street Fighter 6, and I love the customization.
Yeah, crazy customization, and a great story, and definitely good fighting. Okay, best RPG. I feel like this is the hardest category this year. It's Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. Now, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win any category it's in, especially the role-playing game category.
Yeah.
And I'm a little disappointed that Lies of P is in this category because I think it's not really a role-playing game. There's not a lot of choices you make. There's some like skill trees and stuff like that, some upgrades, but that's it, I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
The only one I played yet again is Baldur's Gate 3, but I did hope to try Sea of Stars, and at some point I know I'll play Starfield. But I mean, the one I chose to buy this year is the one I chose to buy for a reason, and I have to go with Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, it's definitely the oats are. I mean, that's a ton of great role-playing games listed there. It's unfortunate that just this is the year that Baldur's Gate 3 came out,
Yeah.
Best action adventure game, Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This is another insane category. Like, I don't know. This could go a lot of ways. Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man, Alan Wake 2 is... from everything I've heard, it's not one I've played, but it's amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one to Spider-Man 2, just because I think this is really the only one it's going to have a shot in. And I'd like to get something.
Yeah, I just don't know. If I'm going for, like, what we think will win rather than what we think deserves it, because I haven't played any of these. Once again, I would probably go with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and the only thing that makes me not want to do that is because it's a sequel, Everybody says it's more of the same. You're just voting for what was the last one? Breath of the Wild again.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Yeah, but I do feel like this is Tears of the Kingdom, this is, again, in a year where Tears of the Kingdom came out, this might be that game's only chance to win an award. It's weird,
Yeah, strange.
Best action game, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. This is another one where I don't know. Let me see. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Okay. So this is all about the combat. Hi-Fi Rush has some really awesome combat, rhythm, style. Ghost Runner 2, that's, parkour-based combat. I'm going to go with Armored Core just based on, I haven't played this game, but I'm hoping to very soon, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, I had high hopes for Dead Island 2. I hear that it didn't really work out so well. But I'm going with my giant mechs. Armored Core 6.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
All right. Best VR/AR, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. Some great games here as well. Horizon Call of the Mountain it really blew me away. How good the game world was, everything about it, the touch, the haptics, it was just such an amazing game. That's my pick.
I'd go with Resident Evil Village because that game seems to be the most I saw Reddit r/gaming change to Resident Evil Village subreddit for a few weeks there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, best mobile game. Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going with Honkai.
Going with Monster Hunter Now.
All right. Good choice. Good choice.
Didn't know that Hello Kitty existed, but I might have to look into that.
You're going to look it up now. I know you are. When you're done playing Forza, you could go to the Hello Kitty Island Adventure. All right. Next up, best debut indie game. Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. This is a tough one too. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought Cocoon was actually supposed to be a follow-up to Inside and its successor, but maybe this was just a spiritual successor. So I don't know about these. These all of them are very, very unique.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pizza Tower because I watched my buddy play that on stream for a while, and it gave me a feeling of the early 90s going to the public library playing some Earthworm Jim or something.
That's amazing. Yeah, everybody loves Pizza Tower. I'm going to go with Cocoon. I only played a few hours of it, but it was a very, very well-made game. The aesthetic, the puzzles, the soundtrack, everything in it was really, really well done and very meticulously crafted. So I'll go with that one, even though I love Dredge. Best independent game, Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Now this one was getting a lot of, people were complaining a little bit about this one because Dave the Diver was created by Mint Rocket. Mint Rocket is owned by Nexon, which is this big, company. So they were annoyed that was in this thing, but it's still, the studio is a small, I don't know. It's how you define independent, I guess. And I don't know, what that means. It's still a very small studio. I don't think they were given tons of capital to create this game, but I don't know. I don't know how they judge what's independent really,
Yeah.
So, what do you think for this one?
Well, let me ask you, and you'll be my litmus test here. You played Dave the Diver, right?
Yeah.
Have you played Sea of Stars?
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you go back to now if you had both on your PlayStation or Xbox, and you could only choose one?
Man, this is so already. This is a tough category. I love all of these games, and Sea of Stars. To me, Dave the Diver, I probably had the most fun with out of all of them. Sea of Stars is a very well crafted game. great RPG. But Dave the Diver has so much wackiness and different gameplay, and it really it's so different and fun.
Yeah.
That's why it's my pick for this category.
I'll go with Dave the Diver too. Then I mean that's between these two. It's just whichever one comes on sale first.
Yes, yes. Best community support. This is recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. This one, to me, oof. It could go either way. Larian was amazing talking about their patches and how they were planning on support this and fleshing it out. But Cyberpunk 2077, dude, they took Cyberpunk 2077 from what it was and made it what it is now. And I think that's a whole nother level that CD Projekt Red, and they were talking to everybody the whole time. The 1.5 patch, the 2.0 patch, and then Phantom Liberty, it's a whole new game. So I'm going to go with Cyberpunk.
Yeah. When I read more about what this category means, I feel like it's more Baldur's Gate 3. I'm a Cyberpunk 2077 stan, but I'm going with Baldur's Gate 3.
I like it. All right, next up, best ongoing. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. It's weird that Cyberpunk is in this, because it doesn't seem to really fit with the other ones.
Yeah, these others are the games as a service more so. I don't know about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they definitely are. But they all have battle passes and that sort of thing. Like in Cyberpunk, it's been ongoing. They've been doing these updates, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it really fits in here. I feel like when you've got Fortnite with what Fortnite's been doing, I think I'm always going to pick Fortnite.
Yeah, content that evolves the player experience over time. I got to give Cyberpunk a vote somewhere. So here,
yeah, you were voting for Cyberpunk for Game of the Year, so that was your write-in.
Yes,
so yeah,
of 2023. Yes,
yeah. I guess when you say the content that evolves the player experience over time, and that's what Cyberpunk did. Through patches and updates and stuff, which is not, I guess it's not part of the game, but that's what they did. So yeah. I don't know. It could go either way. Games for Impact. That's for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. We got A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sinar, Goodbye Volcano High, Chaya, Terra Nil, and Venba. I haven't played any of these games, so I'm gonna go
I thought you played Venba. Isn't that
I
the Canadian cooking?
I started it. I played maybe less than an hour. So, and I liked it, but not enough to really form an opinion. And I did play a little Chaya too, actually. But I'm going to go Goodbye Volcano High just because I like anthropomorphic dinosaurs.
Going with Terra Nil. I like the art style.
Innovation in accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. Now, I'm unfamiliar with how a lot of these games did that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pick Street Fighter again.
Same here. I mean,
all right.
Because if you can customize your character to be anything, then you will be
There's got to be, exactly. There's got to be accessibility somewhere. Best performance. This is for the voiceover, acting, motion, and or performance capture. Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16. Cameron Monaghan for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Idris Elba for Cyberpunk. Melanie Liburd for Alan Wake 2. Neil Newbon for Baldur's Gate 3. And Yuri Lowenthal for Marvel Spider-Man 2. No one is better than Ben Starr as Clive in Final Fantasy 16. His voice, just dude, he's got this deep, amazing voice, and it just drops your panties instantly.
I'd have to take your word for it on that.
Yeah.
Neil Newbon of Baldur's Gate 3. Do you happen to know what character he played?
He played Asterion.
Oh, okay. Wasn't crazy about that character. And then Idris Elba, I feel like when you put those superstar celebrities into a game, it almost breaks immersion.
Mm-hmm,
Damn,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll give it to Spider-Man 2 just because I haven't given any votes over there yet.
All right, there you go. He was great in it too. I mean, Yuri's always great in everything. Best audio design: Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. Again, I haven't played many of these games. Hi-Fi Rush, though, the whole point of that is like the audio and getting all the, fighting in sync with the beat. So I feel like
Yeah,
I got to give it to that.
I'll go with you there. I can't imagine there's anything too special on these other ones.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 have like a really killer soundtrack or something.
Yeah, and that's a different category. There's a soundtrack category.
Oh,
This is more for like in-game audio. So like I guess like the creepy sounds in Dead Space and Resident Evil. So I don't know. I don't know how creepy those sounds could possibly be. But here you go. Best score and music: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Again, I know this one for a fact. Um, Final Fantasy 16. That's the one game where I was like, the soundtrack like just moved me. I was like, dude, it was so powerful at times. So that's my pick.
yeah, from Baldur's Gate 3, I really don't single out the music as a memory, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, it's good. Like I've definitely like made note, being like, okay, it's good, but it's not really blowing me away. Like Tears of the Kingdom or Final Fantasy.
For the reasons you said Hi-Fi Rush on the previous one, I'll go with that on this one.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice as well. All right. Best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This one is another tough one. I've never played Alan Wake 2, but like everything I've seen, the art looks amazing. And that Hi-Fi Rush is cool because it's like that animated style in a 3D world.
Yeah.
But I think Super Mario Brothers Wonder, like when you get one of those Wonder Flowers and shit goes like bonkers, I think that's like the coolest part. I'm gonna pick Super Mario Brothers.
Gotcha. I feel like the Nintendo games aren't really offering anything new that we haven't seen
That's a
from
good
the
point though
previous
too.
ones.
Yeah, it's
Um,
still just a side-scrolling, platformer ultimately.
and I'm always a sucker for Victorian era and steampunk, so Lies of P for me on this one.
All right. Best narrative: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Oof. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is a very good story, but it's based on our. I mean, I guess it's not really our choices because it's already written in there. So I don't know. Do you give it to something like Baldur's Gate 3 because of the amount of narrative in there? Like there's so many choices
Yeah.
and so much going on, or
Yeah.
something like Cyberpunk or Alan Wake that the quality is probably better?
Yeah,
Hmm.
main story through Baldur's Gate 3 might not be that impressive when you're taking like 1,000 yard stare at it, but
Right.
just the intricacy and how insanely you as the player are able to change things and shape the way this goes. I think Baldur's Gate 3 got a lot of praise this year because they did something outstanding with that.
Yep. I'm with you. Because, yeah, when you really think about it, the amount of narrative, as much as you want to dig in, is there. You could talk to every single NPC, every single character in the game,
Even
and
the
they're giving you
animals.
something back, even the animals. All right, next up, best game direction: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I think same thing that we said for the last one. I'm going to say for this one, say Baldur's Gate 3.
Same here, because I mean that's a really hard category to choose without having played all of the games.
Yep. And then our game of the year: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Now, before we get into our pick, is there anything on this list that you think is missing, or you're surprised that it's not there?
I don't know, like why are they all triple A's when we saw such good indie games? Like
I know.
some people might have voted for Dave the Diver because I hear so much about that game.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. But like when you compare them in terms of the breadth of everything, You know, you got these huge games that tell these amazing stories, and Dave the Diver is so much fun to play. But like, yeah, what determines a game of the year? Is it how fun it is to play, or is it like the whole package? You know, like you're like a movie. You know, is this like the Oscars, the best picture of, you know?
That's hard to
So
say because it's like, does Minecraft deserve to ever be a game of the year? I don't know if it ever was,
yeah,
but when it's like the best-selling video game since Tetris, I feel like even indie games have a shot at this or should have a shot at this. Out of this list, I mean, I got to go with Baldur's Gate 3.
yeah, I am with you. This was, I mean, it changed gaming. It changed the way that
Yeah.
studios approach developing games. Um,
It made
it's
studios apologize to us ahead of time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one of the greatest games that has been out in many years, just for what it has done for gaming in general, and how big it is, and how you could approach it in so many different ways and kind of make your own way around it. So
Right.
yeah, I
And
think. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, especially, I mean, considering that this should be a really niche game. This should be like, it should have the audience of an RTS game as a CRPG. That's not everybody's cup of tea, but somehow they made a product that is, you get over it when you're not used to that camera angle or that style of combat. So many people have nothing but positive stuff to say about this game.
Yep. No, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's definitely people that normally would never play this game are like, okay, yeah, this game, I get it. This game is awesome, and it is. Like, even fans that like, you would think that this is like strictly a Dungeons and Dragons type, crowd. Like, but
Yeah.
it's got so much more it offers. So, and I think a lot of people were drawn into because you could have sex with a bear, and then they just stayed for the fun.
That's
story.
mainly it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've said enough about the Game Awards nominees for right now. I want to know what you thought. Do you agree with our picks? I want to know what your picks are. Send them in to us. Let us know. And then December 7th, December 10th,
December
December
7th was
7th is the Game Awards. And yeah, we'll be talking about all the big winners and the big announcements there. Yeah, it's exciting. It's right around the corner. We're getting real close. All right, but let's move on. Let's talk about the subscription service catalogs. Were updated, or we're getting our next update this week. So PlayStation Plus game catalog for November, the extra and premium packages. They're getting Teardown, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on Dead Island, Riptide Definitive Edition, Superliminal, Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, Nobunga's Ambition Taishi, Alternate Jake Hunter, Daedalus, The Awakening of Golden Jazz. What the fuck are the names of these games? Teardown, yeah, we talked about it. Teardown's going to be dope. Superliminal is a fantastic puzzle game that I've been wanting to play. And then, yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on for you, right? You're excited for that one?
That's big in Japan, but man, they make some crappy Gundam games. That's not for me.
Oh, okay. What is it? Why? I don't understand.
It's like an arena fighter, I guess.
It sounds intense. Just the name alone freaks me out.
Yeah.
And then
from this list, like Teardown's pretty awesome. I'd love to play it.
Yeah, Teardown's gonna be dope. And then and River City Melee Mock. I don't know what these games are. And then the premium catalog gets Grandia, Jet Moto, Up, Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Series, and Parappa the Rapper 2. And then Game Pass Wave 2. It's a little bit of a smaller list after the giant one we read last week. But Persona 5 Tactica is a day one game that's out now. And Dune Spice Wars comes out November 28th. And Roller Drome also comes November 28th. I'm excited to check out Persona 5 Tactica. I dabble in tactics games, and I don't always love them. But this one, it's got the characters from Persona 5, so you know they're great characters. And then I've heard that it's a little bit of a more simpler style tactics game, so it's a little bit more open to, to people like my dumb ass going in there and playing it. So
I was into that roller drone. Something about the style kind of pushes me back. It looks like it's like 70s beige and
yeah,
something, but the gameplay looks pretty cool.
I played a couple hours of it, and it's hard. Like, it's harder than I thought. I think you would probably be better at it because it's very much it's got like kind of the Tony Hawk style
Oh yeah,
gameplay, and I've seen you shred some sweet Tony Hawk combos. But at the same time you're doing that, you have to, kill these people. So it's strange. It's strange. And like, you get your gun like reloads faster if you kill. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But then leaving this month, November 30th, Anvil, Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Disc Room, Eastward, and Grid are all leaving at the end of this month, which Disc Room, I put a lot of time into Disc Room, and it is just like this top-down room where there's hundreds of discs spinning about, like murderous discs, and you have to just move your little character around. And it is addicting, and it's like that whole one more time thing. But my son, he just loves watching me play it because he wants to collect all the discs and find all the secrets. All right, next up, what's kind of becoming a regular segment on this show, and it's a real big bummer. We got more layoffs, a lot of more layoffs coming to the industry here. The first one from the Digital Bros. They sound like a cool, I was like, who are Digital Bros? And then I realized,
was selling me a cryptocurrency.
Exactly, that's what I thought. I'm like, what up, bro? And I just didn't like them right from the start. I'm like, they're laying off people, they're Digital Bros. But then it's like, it's actually probably Digital Brothers. It started in 1989 before anybody said bros. And they're eliminating roughly 30% of its total global workforce. I'm unsure of exactly how many layoffs that is. Probably quite a few. But they're the parent company to 505 Games. This is the reason that we all care. They got a bunch of other gaming companies, but 505 Games is the biggest one. And here, I want to read real fast the quote that they gave for the reason for the layoffs. The video game market has evolved since the pandemic to be more selective in terms of new games, with consumers increasingly reverting to well-established intellectual properties and playing these same games for longer periods. Digital Brothers' strategy has had to adapt to this new and evolving competitive scenario and will focus its efforts moving forward on the release of sequels and new versions of previously successful and established games with a limited number of new, larger budget productions. So, they're just going to be making sequels and remakes and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Now, is that new to us that, when you pay $70 for a game, you want to play it for a while and you don't have time for every little game that comes out?
Yeah, I think they're just butthurt because Crime Boss Rockay City didn't really pan out for them. But at the same time, like they have a large stake in the developer of Payday 3, which is a sequel to an established game that is not doing well. So I don't know. I think they're just talking out their ass. But
yeah, and we're going to see a few more excuses as we go down the list. And just rest assured, it's all our fault as the consumer.
True. Next up was one that I was really bummed to see. Humble Bundle. They had to lay off a bunch of their people. Now they're not a huge company, but they are, they put out a lot of like the strange games that I like really adore. And, this was a bummer to hear about that. Next up.
Yeah. Hold up. Still think that discount was worth it?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. But yeah, next up, we don't care so much about this one because it's the big bad guys at Amazon. No, I'm kidding. It still sucks for the 180 people that Amazon Games just laid off. Now, these were not from the development side. So this was from Crown Channel, which is their Twitch streaming team. And hang on, there's something else. Oh, and game growth was the other division that they was from. So, quote from this: the leadership team and I have made the difficult decision to close 2 of our initiatives, Crown Channel and Game Growth. We're also refocusing our efforts for Prime Gaming. We've listened to our customers, and we know delivering free games every month is what they want most. So we were refining our Prime benefit to increase our focus there. With these changes in our business approach come changes to our resourcing, resulting in the elimination of just over 180 roles. So, yeah, they had to lay off 180 people so that you can get free games. You greedy sons of bitches. Who else? Embracer Group. This is another big one. They are laying off over 900 people. Now, we talked about them a bunch not too long ago about their rapid, giant kind of expansion that they did. They were buying up everything, and it really didn't pay off. The other shoe was set to drop at some point, especially after there was a $2 billion deal that they were working on with the Saudi Arabia government investment group, and that didn't pan out. So that didn't work, and then now come the cuts. So very unfortunate, because Embracer Group owns a lot of the development companies and publishers that I really enjoy: THQ Nordic, Gearbox. So yeah, we'll see how that's affecting people going forward. And then lastly, not official yet, but Sega is threatening to lay off a bunch of people because of union talks. And it's always the QA testers, they're always out there trying to unionize, and they're not, they're not getting very lucky, these QA testers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens here. This is reported by gamesindustry.biz. But they said, yeah, that Sega is, they're looking to eliminate 80 people in the bargaining unit there for the union talks. So
Yeah. So if this really is like legitimately illegal anti-union activity that Sega is doing, they couldn't have had better timing, because if it goes to court, they're going to point to all the examples we just went over and we've been going over for weeks and saying, this is where the industry is going. These layoffs are very, very normal right now.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate. Or, I don't believe, I when it's the large corporations versus the people trying to create a union to protect their jobs, I will never ever believe the corporations and say like, oh, it's just coincidence, it's just timing. It's like, it's bullshit. So yeah, and it's crazy. I hope all these people affected can bounce back and get a job, but when you're seeing layoffs across the entire spectrum of gaming, like where do they go? It's tough. So hopefully they could all, maybe they're all getting great severance packages. At least the Amazon people better get some pretty dope severance packages, because they're like,
oh yeah,
up billions for the quarter, the non-gaming part of it. All right, do you got anything else you want to add about layoffs?
Nah, I mean, we'll have to get into a discussion about like why this is happening and stuff like that. I watched you on the Smashing Game Time podcast and thought some interesting points were brought up there.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the business side of it and what really is happening in the economy that's causing this downturn. But I don't, and I would like to. So if anybody out there knows of a good place to go read about this or watch something about why this is happening, send it our way. I'd love to check that out. All right, next up, it's our Gaming News Weekly Dumb Take of the Week. Take two. Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, he's riding this high. GTA 6 trailer. He's like, listen, we got you, baby. We're coming out. And he's like, I could do anything I want. I'm on top of the world. And then he says dumb shit like this. In terms of our pricing for any entertainment property, basically the algorithm is the value of the expected entertainment usage, which is to say the per hour value times the number of expected hours plus the terminal value that's perceived by the customer in ownership if the title is owned rather than rented or subscribed to. Basically, he's saying that you should pay for something based on how long you do it, how much enjoyment you get out of it. He also added this. By that standard, our prices are still very, very low because we offer many hours of engagement. The value of the engagement is very high. So I think the industry as a whole offers a terrific price to value opportunity for consumers. Which is dumb as shit. Like, I'm going to see a movie. Let's say I see an hour and a half movie. Do I have to pay less than if I go see a 3-hour movie? Or do I say pay the same price because it's a movie?
Yeah. Man, I was pretty against this in all forms, except I'm just now realizing when you're reading it all back, it kind of already happened. World of Warcraft and subscriptions to games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely not the way he worded it. I don't think he would have gotten as much hate if he would have worded it like that.
That's true.
But if GTA came out as a subscription-based service and you're paying $9.99 or $15.99 and it's a games as a service, continually evolves like we know GTA 5 Online did, that's not so crazy.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's one thing I didn't think about. But yeah, like, I mean, initially we're talking about raising the price from, $60 to $70 to $80 or whatever it is. But yeah, you throw a $9.99 subscription service out a month, they're going to make a lot of money. And I think a lot of people are going to pay that. So who knows, dude? It's a little scary. It's a little scary when you think about it.
I don't want it to go that way.
No.
Yeah, I just want to pay once for the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that would not be good. I mean, like, you're right, though. We're not far off when you just think about, like, the amount of monetization that is in every game now. Yeah, how long till that completely subscription-based model where we're just paying to play?
Yeah.
Hopefully not anytime soon.
No,
all right.
But, I mean, I could see, Xbox releasing games, like, only through Game Pass. Something like that, where you basically would have to subscribe to the service if you want to play that game.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny, too, because I think about, because I'm paid up on Game Pass for so long, when a game comes out to Game Pass, I'm like, ooh, a free game that I could play. But yeah, I'm paying for that subscription. And well, absolutely. There's some games that you could pay for a month, play a game and finish it for that, whatever the price is, $16 for the Game Pass Ultimate. So then you think you're paying $16 to play a if it's a single player story based game that could take 30 hours or whatever, you can crush that in a month, 2 months. But yeah, those games that you want to keep playing, that becomes very pricey when you're playing it after 3-4 months. So, all right, have we said enough?
Hope so. We're at an hour so far, so
yeah,
we better get going.
Yeah, we've been chatting. This has been a fun one. I like talking about the game of the year. I don't like talking about layoffs, though. So, next time, maybe less. Let's have less news about layoffs for the next episode of Gaming News Weekly, please.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for checking out this latest episode of Gaming News Weekly. We may be taking next week off. Next week is Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I'm going to be playing all sorts of new games, baby. I'm really excited. And then I'm going to be real fat because I'm going to eat a ton of food. But, if something amazing pops up, we'll be back here, of course. If not, we're going to take the week off. We're going to enjoy the holiday. But definitely stop back the following week where we'll be talking about more video game news stuff. You could check this show out on YouTube if you want. Pop Culture Playground is where you'll find this show, a bunch of other stuff for myself. Full Clip is over at GameFAQs, GameFAX. You can watch all his fun video game content over there. Also, check us out on Fruit Lab. It's a great website. You could earn basically gift cards for watching people play video games and posting content there. It's a really cool way to earn a couple extra bucks and see some cool video game content. And then if you want to just listen to the audio version, you can find us anywhere podcasts are found. Just type in GNW. That's going to get you this show. You hit the subscribe button and bam, every Monday you're getting the biggest news, all the things. right in your ear, and you don't have to even really worry about it. It's just there. It's just there. And then while you're at it, go subscribe at TikTok and Instagram for all the updates and daily content coming over there. What else? Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All right.
Happy
that's
holidays, happy Thanksgiving, and even if you're not American, go have a meal with your family.
Yeah, eat some cranberries and shut it. All right. We'll see you next time.